What's up guys, Buddy here, and welcome back for another episode of Fallout New Vegas. In this episode we're going to be doing the second to last side quest in the game. Yep, we've only got big ones left now, guys. So, of all places you'd expect for one of the later quests in the game, as we're wrapping things up and only getting to important things to do, is we're back at Camp Forlorn Hope. Anyway, head inside the tent, and head to your left, and you will discover Sergeant Reyes.
Hey, you're not one of the troopers. Got a second? I have work I need done, and nobody here at the camp has the time or inclination to help me out.
What do you do here?
I handle communications for Camp Forlorn Hope, compiling reports I've received from the rangers at Camp Golf as well as the brass at McCarran. Unofficially, I'm also in charge of radio security. No one else seems to take it as seriously as I do.
What do you need help with?
I have the delightful task of tabulating stockpiles, kill ratios, mission success rates, radiation deaths, and other truly fascinating numbers. I've come across numerous inconsistencies between our numbers and our reports, especially with regards to intercepting hostiles. I'm wondering if our radio security codes have been compromised. I need someone to deliver security code upgrades to each of the ranger stations.
I'll help. Tell me what I need to do. Wait, let me just go through all the dialogue options, obviously. You think someone is listening onto your broadcast?
Less than a third of reported enemy sightings are getting intercepted. Either our intel is faulty, or our enemies are one step ahead of us.
You think the NCR would be very concerned about this sort of thing? You'd think the NCR would be very concerned about this sort of thing.
I've been trying to get someone to authorize this update, or at the least get field clearance to leave the camp and do this myself. But nobody takes me seriously. They just think I'm an incompetent desk jockey trying to glamorize the importance of my job.
I can understand that problem. What makes you think you can trust me with security codes?
The security codes are unique to the radios at each ranger station. They're useless anywhere else.
Okay then. I'll help. Tell me what I need to do.
This holotape contains the updated security codes for the ranger stations. Show it to the comm officers there. Once the new codes are in use, anyone still using the old codes will just hear static if they're listening in on our frequencies.
Sounds smart. Let's go.
Bye.
Return to sender. Quest added. Alrighty then. So, this is going to be a bit of cutting. So, first of all, if you've been to Ranger Station Charlie, which is down here. No. Wait, where is Ranger Station Charlie? Oh! They fixed a bug. That's interesting. Since the last time I played through this game, you could tell how long ago it was. There used to be that there was a quest marker at Charlie, even if Charlie had been wiped out. But nope, this time there is no quest marker at Charlie. So that's good. So, as you can see, we've discovered Ranger Station Bravo and Ranger Station Alpha, but the others we haven't discovered. So I'm going to cut to those two stations, and then we're going to cut to traveling to the other three. So I'll see you guys at Alpha.
Sounds like we're running prim now. I'd still rather take my leave at the strip.
The first person you need to talk to is Comm Officer Castillo at Alpha.
This post isn't someplace a civilian ought to be.
Anything going on around here?
Just the usual. Legion scouts try to slip across the river a couple of times a week, but they always end up floating downriver with holes in their heads.
What is this place?
Ranger Station Alpha. Ranger Lineholm is in command here.
Tell me about the Rangers.
I'm not really much of a historian. The short version is that the Rangers are the elite of the NCR military. Best fighters in the wasteland.
I exist. Sergeant Reyes at Camp Forlorn Hope sent me with a security update for your radio.
All right. She radioed ahead and mentioned that somebody was coming by. Odd that she'd send a civilian instead of a trooper, though.
Okay.
Don't get killed out there.
So that's Ranger Station Alpha upgraded. Okay, Ranger Station Bravo, which is right by Devil's Gullet, Camp Guardian, and Bitter Springs. In here you need to talk to Comm Officer Tilden.
Time's right for a feud. If you're here to sell something, we don't want any.
What do you do here?
This is the frontier of NCR territory, and we're the first line of defense. You won't find much in the way of civilization east of here. South of here is Camp Guardian, but they've been having radio trouble, so they've been silent for a while now.
Sergeant Reyes sent me here. I've got a security update for your radio.
No problem. Hey, do me a favor when you get back to Reyes and tell her that we don't need any more damn ammo. Wouldn't mind more water, though.
Why don't you use your radio to fix your supply situation?
You think I haven't tried? Every time I do, Camp Golf acknowledges the situation. And soon after that, more ammo.
How are your water supplies right now?
We're not gonna die of thirst anytime soon, but I'd rather have too much than not enough.
Since you have extra, I could have some of that ammo.
It's not my call to make. You'd have to clear it with Ranger Erickson.
Okay then. Goodbye.
Careful out there.
Where is Ranger Erickson? We'll talk about that surplus ammo. Erickson sounds like a girl. I don't know why. I really don't know why. If Erickson's their last name, then I don't know any... I've never heard of a girl called Erickson as their last name, and I've heard of 2 males. Oh, am I right, though? Oh, I am right.
What brings you to Ranger Station Bravo?
I heard there was ammo.
Sorry. It's against regulation for me to give away NCR supplies to anyone not stationed at this post. Wouldn't want you using it against us. Yep.
Totally don't have enough ammo right now. Totally don't have enough ammo. Not helpful at all. Alright, you might think with Ranger Station Foxtrot, actually we've already discovered it, you'd want to travel to Vault 22 or the Red Rock Drug Lab. You don't. Neither of these places will give you access to Ranger Station Foxtrot. You're better off going to Remnant's Bunker if you've discovered it, or Silver Peak Mine, or travelling up the Jacobstown Road, because the Vault 22 there's a mountain in the way, and Red Rock Drug Lab, well, you've seen Red Rock, it's a canyon, so no access there either. I think we've been here before and talked to the comm officer about her Omerta's problems, but it is comm officer Link that you need to talk to. Hopefully I haven't just spoiled anything. I think we've been here before and talked to Link. Pretty sure we have. Yeah, we have been here before.
Oh, hey.
Yeah, we have. I brought updated radio security codes from Camp Forlorn Hope.
Oh, well, yeah, I can do that. Thanks.
No problem.
Watch out for great cons.
Will do. Alright, the next 2 we haven't discovered, so it'll be a discovery experience we can share. So I traveled to the Lucky Gym Mine.
Oh, don't you worry about me, dearie. Your grandma knows how to stay quiet.
I should probably go get a new companion. I don't know if there's much point with very little left of the main game. Well, I do still have 1 companion quest to do, so I'll definitely be getting Arcade Ganon back at some point before we finish the game. But for how long, I don't really know. Lily hasn't been with us that long, to be fair. We only got her for a companion quest. She's a cool companion, like I said, like I've said the last couple of episodes, she's got the most health out of any companion, she's really durable. So if you're playing hardcore, she is a undoubted recommendation from me. She has a huge amount of health and can survive anything, so if you're playing hardcore and don't want any of your companions to die, Lily probably won't die, so you don't have to worry about that. And if you're not playing hardcore, then it's up to your personal preferences. She does a decent amount of damage, but not as much as Veronica or Boone, so I'd go with one of those 2. Personally, I like Veronica for guns playthroughs because she's more I'll usually go with Veronica because I think she's my favorite companion from a character standpoint. Like, I know I joke around a lot, but Felicia Day is seriously a very good voice. Yeah, Felicia Day. I thought I'd messed up her voice actor then. Is a very good voice actor. She does a fantastic job, and she is really fun to have with you as a companion, which is what the companion is really supposed to be. And her story's awesome at the same time. So I love Veronica. Love her to bits. She's my favorite companion. But in terms of a practicality gameplay standpoint, Veronica and Boone are probably the best companions to have in casual mode. Casual, by the way, isn't like, ooh, just playing with auto run on all times. By the way, Q is auto run. Don't know if anybody knows about this, but yeah. But what I mean is, like, the game actually, like, defines, there you go, defines anybody not playing hardcore mode as playing casual mode. So anybody playing casual mode, I would recommend Boone or Veronica, because I think they one-shot almost anything in the game on normal. So they're really good, fair play to them. And I do like those two. Raoul is really good from a character standpoint too. And Cass is okay from a character standpoint. You know, I like her. She suits my style.
Looks like we booted the Legion out of
this
Nelson.
is the ghoul
Damn time.
station. Is this where... Did we end up... The ghoul in Camp Searchlight can eventually come here if you go down a certain dialogue tree with him. Did we end up doing that with him?
Hey, you fool.
Oh!
Had enough.
Shit. Anyway, like I was saying, there is a ghoul soldier in Camp Searchlight that we've actually talked to. I can't remember what his name is, though.
Patrolling the Mojave
Looks like we
almost
booted
makes
the
you
Legion
wish
out of
for a
Nelson.
nuclear
Who
winter.
can
About damn time.
come here, because this is where the ghouls are really accepted in the NCR. If you, I think you have to have visited this place for him to come here. Yeah, so... Alright, Calm Officer Green.
Gotta wonder what the hell a civilian is doing here.
Okay, I have an updated radio code for you, dick.
What, again? Didn't I just change those damn things? Alright, fine. Show me the new codes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Looks like we booted the Legion out of Nelson. About damn
Whoa,
time.
Lily, are you a different color than usual? Yeah, you were. Okay, you're fixed now. Good. Good. Alright, the next ranger station is actually just north of Forlorn Hope. So we're back here at Forlorn Hope to go north. The reason why I came back to Forlorn Hope, there is another fast travel point closer to the ranger station, but it's called the Cazador Nest. So I'm going to leave that one and come here. That would probably be the best idea. So that's why I started here. So just head off into the northern path, which can also lead to Helios 1, by the way. I don't know if I think we have used this before. Oh, is that Helios 1? No, that's the ranger station. Okay. These ranger stations, I think they're all based on these radio towers, because I guess the ranger stations are intel points throughout the wasteland that could radio back to base. So that's why I guess they base over. Oh, yeah, they base around these radio towers. Okay. Ooh. Cool. Oh. These ones have veteran rangers, I think. Yeah, veteran ranger armor. See.
Morning.
Morning. And officer.
I'm not supposed to let civilians just walk around this place. There better be a good reason for you being here.
I brought radio codes.
Very well. You can tell Reyes that this station is secure.
I'd like to know more about the rangers.
Well, when there's trouble regular NCR troops can't handle, they send in a ranger. Problem solved. We're also responsible for keeping the borders of the NCR secure, scouting out threats, that sort of thing.
Interesting. They seem to have a very wide range,
Sir?
A wide role. The rangers do. Once you finish updating all the ranger stations, just come. And of course, Charlie is wiped out. Just come back to Reyes.
Welcome back.
Every station except Charlie has been given the new security codes. Charlie was wiped out.
The station's been silent for quite some time now. I guess this confirms what we've all feared. Thanks for letting me know. I'll switch over all radio broadcasts to the new encrypted channels. This ought to help us stay a step ahead of any spies. Before you go, I've got another job available.
What else did you need me to do?
We've received some disturbing reports from some of the ranger stations. Heavy casualties at Alpha, super mutant legionaries at Delta.
What?
The weirdest one has to be the Great Khans and their trained death claws at Foxtrot. These reports can't be accurate, can they? I know you've already been out there, but could you do me a solid and confirm these reports with the rangers who sent them in?
No problem. Have you heard anything unusual about any of the other ranger stations?
Nothing is severe. Charlie seems to be getting a lot of extra medical supplies for some reason, while Bravo hasn't requested a resupply in a while. Echo has been reporting heavy Legion activity down on their end, but that's about it.
Wait. Bravo hasn't had a resupply in a while? They're getting loads of ammo. I'll investigate and let you know what I find out about these odd reports.
Thank you, and good luck.
Godspeed.
Bye.
Alright, so there are two important people at ranger stations. The comm officer and then the ranger who runs the place.
Hello.
We talked to the comm officer last time, so this time we're talking to the ranger.
Did you need something else?
Sergeant Reyes sent me. She's curious about high casualties at this station.
High casualties? We've had one broken ankle, but nobody at this post has died.
Reyes' information says otherwise. Wait. How could Reyes have been wrong?
There are other ranger posts around. Reyes might have mixed up the report.
Okay. Reyes' information says otherwise.
Any injury, illness, or death gets radioed to Ranger HQ at Camp Golf. Chief Hanlon and his aides compile the reports and assign reinforcements as needed. And they're not needed here.
Okay, thanks.
Rhea's got the numbers wrong. Not much more to it than that.
No problem.
So long.
We already talked to Ranger Station Bravo about their ammo problem, so that does actually count to the quest, and obviously Charlie has been wiped out, so no need to go to either of those two. Now the Ranger Delta tends to stray a little bit outside of the actual Ranger Station. If you head down the road a little bit, obviously the quest marker will point you in the right direction. I believe they sit on a chair overlooking the dam, if I remember correctly, but yeah, just head down here. And out here, there's actually two of them. Oh no, they're just strolling. I'm pretty sure there is a chair down here though, or something. Oh, maybe they take... Oh shit, it's a robot. What the hell? Is that an NCR trained robot?
Hello, sir.
Like, oh, I guess they're scouting? I don't know. I don't know what's going on. So, yeah, just... Sometimes the ranger might be outside of his, or her, I can't really tell, post, just track down the quest marker.
No sudden moves and you and I will do alright. What do you want?
You filed a report which said Legion super mutants wiped out at NCR patrol.
No, I didn't. You might hear that kind of nonsense from a drunk trooper on the strip, but not from me. The Legion doesn't have super mutants. That patrol was wiped out by its own incompetence. A couple of the troopers were fooling around with a grenade when it went off.
I'd like to know more about the NCR Rangers while I'm here.
Best of the best. That's all there is to it. Really nothing more to say than that.
So that's why they were fumbling around with a grenade, and it went off.
See you around.
See, I'm getting mixed reports from one guy. I don't think I trust the NCR at all. Not at all. Here we are at the final station, Kudlow.
Yeah?
I like how everyone else is like, why are civilians here? Don't move. This time, she's like, yeah, what's up? Lank told me her story.
Yeah, it's a damn shame. There was a lot of talk about expelling her from the Rangers, especially once the gambling and drinking started. Being posted here is her second and last chance, and so far, I'm not impressed. Link's jumpy all the time, and the others are sick of it.
Wait a minute, so before the drinking and the gambling, she was still being talked about getting kicked out. Afterwards, they're like, yeah, we should probably kick this chick out. So I need to confirm your report about Great Khans with trained death claws. Sounds about right, but we just need to make sure.
You must be mistaken. I haven't filed any report like that. Trained death claws? I would have remembered that. If someone is saying I filed that report, that's a load of crap. I won't have my name attached to a clerical error.
Okay, thank you, Ranger Kudlow. I will get to the bottom of this.
Be careful out there.
I shall try. Back at Forlorn Hope, talk to Reyes.
Welcome back.
The Rangers' versions of the reports they sent to Camp Golf don't match what you received.
I knew it. Every one of the false reports was signed off by Chief Hanlon at Camp Golf. But why would the Chief manipulate the reports? I need you to take everything we found to Chief Hanlon and confront him with it. I don't want to make this public unless we have to.
Okie dokie.
Bye.
Goodbye.
We won't go quietly. The Legion can count on that.
Okay, once you arrive at Camp Golf, I don't think we've actually ever been into the main building at Camp Golf, so I'm gonna show this. This is obviously where we did the Misfits quest earlier on in the... Well, very early on in the series. In fact, I think that was around part 30, because the Misfits quest was the last quest we did before we headed off to Dead Money. Shows how early in the game I went there, really, if you think about it. And then Honest Hearts, we hadn't entered the strip yet. Before Old World Blues, we had finally entered the strip, and now we're back from Old World Blues, and we've got one side quest left after this. So, things are looking up, things are looking up. So here it is, the House Resort. This is where you have to go to talk to the Big Cheese, Chief Hanlon, sorry. I hope he's out on the deck. If he is, I'm going to wait till daytime, because it seems better at day. I imagine he is. He's not. He's not out on the deck, so I'm gonna wait for him to be out on the deck, because that just makes for better scene. So I'm gonna head out here. Yep, he's not out here yet. So we're gonna wait. It's really late actually. He's probably sleeping, so we'll give him some sleep. It's a big day. We need to talk to him about falsified reports. There you go. Chief Hanlon. Just to mention, what he holds there is the Crap, you can't see it when he's sitting down. Oh, you kind of can. That's a Ranger Sequoia. It's a unique revolver.
Back west, you don't see too many of these. Lakes, I mean. Natural or man-made. Any kind, really. We neglected the dams or pumped all the water out a long time ago. Owens, Isabella, the San Luis. Drained the aquifers of everything they had. Just a lot of mud and dust now. It's a different feeling watching the sun come up over the water. Takes some getting used to. But if you're here long enough, it starts to seem normal. That's what a ranger's life is now, looking east. I don't think we've had the pleasure of meeting before. What can I do for you?
Do you ever stop? Tell me about yourself.
Folks around here call me the chief, but handling's just fine. The Rangers run themselves pretty well, but I try to lend a hand. Mostly administrative work, helping coordinate intel on the radio. That and keeping an eye on the fires growing across the water.
How do you coordinate the intel?
It's a simple system when it works. Patrol Rangers radio intel to ranger stations. Comm Rangers send the intel up the station chain until it reaches Camp Gulf. Then I or one of the other Rangers on duty organize the data, evaluate it, and send information to camps or troopers in the field.
Why don't the ranger stations send the intel directly to the troopers?
Comm Rangers might have an incomplete picture of the situation. There's a lot going on out there. Intel needs to be coordinated through Gulf so we can verify and advise appropriately. Troopers have enough to deal with. We don't want them questioning their intel.
Do you know anything about the problems?
I don't know Technical Sergeant Reyes, but coordinating intel can be messy sometimes. Things get mixed up, people get confused. Heck, I get confused, and I've been doing this for a long time now. What he or she sees as a problem might be standard operating procedure. That's not to say Reyes is wrong for being concerned, but it's easy for the sand to get in your eyes out here.
Can you give me any advice?
Well, the logical thing to do is to check with the patrol rangers and comm officers. Don't be too discouraged if some things don't match up. Different people see different things, and sometimes the meaning gets twisted, lost in static from person to person.
Let's talk about something else.
Shoot.
What do you know about Kaiser?
The best of the best, worst of the worst. He came out of NCR, one of the followers of the apocalypse. Like a lot of the followers, he went out in the wilderness with a partner to try to help those who needed helping. Not much different from how the Rangers used to be, except with books and medicine instead of guns.
Where did he go?
Out to the Grand Canyon. He met a missionary from Utah, a man by the name of Joshua Graham. Graham helped translate for the followers and the tribes. All three of them got nabbed by the Blackfoots down there, back when they were still at war with every other tribe in the Southwest.
How did a follower end up becoming Kaiser? We've learned about this before, but let's hear it from the game.
Somewhere along the way, he realized he needed to educate the Blackfoots, or they were going to get wiped out with the rest of the tribe. Showed them how to use guns, how to make explosives. Once he taught the Blackfoots a thing or two, they needed him. And he no longer needed the followers, NCR, or anyone else. He decided he could remake the tribes of the Southwest whether they wanted it or not. He became Caesar, and Joshua Graham became his legate, his right hand. And that's where Graham stayed until Hoover Dam.
What happened to Graham after Hoover Dam? We know so much about this.
Losing the dam was the worst defeat the Legion ever suffered. Graham had been with Caesar since the beginning, but he had to set an example. The Praetorians covered Graham in pitch, lit him on fire, and down into the Grand Canyon he went.
So that was the end of Graham?
It's not that clear-cut. You have to understand, Graham was the toughest son of a gun anyone around these parts had ever seen. Before Hoover, we had 5 kill reports on Graham from Rangers and 1st Recon sharpshooters who tried to take him out. Some folks think he's still alive. Call him the Burned Man.
Are the Blackfoots part of the Legion now?
Yes and no. The Blackfoots don't exist anymore. Just like any other tribe that gets swallowed by the Legion. Caesar takes the tribal out of the tribe. Scrapes and burns off tattoos, breaks up families, forces mixed breeding so all the old loyalties die away. The only tribe in the Legion is the Legion. Caesar is their chief, father, and god, all rolled into one.
Let's talk about something else.
Shoot.
How's the NCR doing?
Mojave Outpost sent word through the stations. The Rangers coming up from Baja moved through Dayglow a week ago. Some of the patrol rangers have reported that Oliver's power armor heavy troopers are starting to reinforce the front lines. I wish they got here a bit earlier, but that's a Senate for you.
What do new Rangers mean for the NCR?
The Baja Rangers can do more advanced night scouting and sharpshooting to assist the troopers. Ranger combat helmets are old pre-war gear. They have built-in low-light optics. Makes a big difference.
Tell me more about the heavy troopers.
They have the best equipment the NCR can get its hands on. Power armor salvaged from our war with the Brotherhood. Techs strip out the joint servos so you don't need special training to wear it. It feels like you're carrying a Brahmin on your back, but it can take a heck of a lot of punishment.
Thanks.
Shoot.
What's the Legion been up to?
Word is that the Legion's old-timers have shown up. Caesar's veterans from the Red Okie Centuria and what was the Painted Rock tribe. They're the best of the best and the baddest of the bad. Short of a Centurion or Praetorian, they don't come any tougher. You come across a pack of them, weigh your options carefully.
What makes the veterans so tough?
Take a regular legionary and age him 10 years. Whatever they lose to age, they make up for with experience. Life expectancy isn't long in the Legion. You live 10 years in Caesar's army, you're a force to be reckoned with.
Tell me about the Centurions.
There's no real equivalent to them in the NCR. Centurions are battle-born, elite officers who earn their rank with blood and sweat. They wear special outfits, too, pieced together from the armor of all their defeated enemies. Good commanders, tough opponents.
Who are the Praetorians?
Caesar's elite guard. They travel with him wherever he goes. A bit of insurance in case any of his guests get funny ideas. They aren't the toughest legionaries, but they're the most devoted to Caesar. They believe in everything the Legion stands for.
Okay.
Sure.
Tell me about the Rangers.
I could tell you a lot if you had the time, but at my age, I'm not sure which of us would get tired first. What do you want to know?
How long have you been in the Rangers?
Oh, well, I guess it must be coming up on 40 years or so.
Wow.
Back before Elise was chief, anyway. It was a heck of a lot harder then. Weren't as many of us to go around, but I think it was a lot easier to tell the good guys from the bad.
What do the Rangers do?
Well, there's what we're supposed to be doing and what we're actually doing. There's a big gap between those two things. About as wide as that lake out there.
Okay. What are you supposed to be doing?
To protect against all forms of tyranny. As simple as that. 30, 40 years ago, the wasteland was full of despots. Slavers, raiders, tough-talking hoodlums with gangs who'd like to kick around towns. Back then, the NCR military was still young. Couldn't cover much ground. It took groups like ours to tip the balance back to the good guys.
What are you actually doing?
Sitting on the shore of Lake Mead, looking east. Listening to a radio. Trying to not get too many people killed. I'm too old to be slapping leather, but I had hoped for something else. More than this, anyway.
Why are the Rangers here?
There's a lot of answers to that question, but it started with the Ranger Unification Treaty. We weren't always the only show in town. Nevada had its own posse, the Desert Rangers. They fought Caesar even farther east, out in Arizona. Years back, we met with the Desert Rangers at Mojave Outpost and agreed to help them against Caesar if they would join the NCR.
Must have some good stories to tell.
Suppose it depends on what you think's good. Most folks want to hear about Hoover Dam and Boulder City, but it's a long story. If you want some tall tales about hunting down slavers or busting up gangs, talk to one of the younger Rangers.
There must be something good the Rangers have done that you're proud of.
It's kind of a long one, but all right. About 25 years ago, a group of NCR settlers pushed way south into Baja. I guess it doesn't seem so far now if you look at a map, but back then they were out of ways. They built this little shanty town around a well in the middle of nowhere. Called it Rattletail. Word got back to one of our stations that raiders had been attacking the place. I went out with 6 Rangers. We must have been on the trail for a week before we got to Rattletail. We lost one woman to night stalkers and another almost died of dehydration. When we reached the place, it's 6 shacks set up around an old well. There's over 24 bodies lying in the dunes way outside of town, and 5 men with .308 rifles crouched behind sandbags. And these bodies, these people out in the sand, they aren't raiders, aren't even heavily armed. They're just people who were trying to get to the only well in 50 miles. I didn't have to talk to the men to see that they did not care one bit. They had planted an NCR flag over the well, and they would not budge until every last one of them was laid out dead and cold. So I walked up and told them there was a group of raiders coming, 100 strong. I made up some cockamamie name for them and everything. The men looked at each other, looked at us, and asked me what we were going to do about it.
Can I just mention that the guys planting an NCR flag over the well and killing absolutely everybody, civilian or not, coming for the well is very, very synonymous with the NCR's entire freaking operation.
I told them we would take them back into NCR territory because we'd already lost 10 Rangers on the way out. 10 Rangers, 5 men with .308 rifles. Well, that was enough for them. They packed up what they could and we took them back north. Last I heard, they settled somewhere in Anza Borrego. Raised bighorners. Had some tough times, but it worked out okay for them. So there you go. That's my one bit of good.
Huh. Ugh. That's... well then, Chief Hanlon, I should mention that quickly, but that story is very indicative of the NCR's whole bravado. We'll stick a flag on someone, and if you're not NCR, you're screwed. What happened at Hoover Dam in Boulder City?
In big battles, Caesar deploys his legionaries in waves. Recruits up front, prime soldiers behind the recruits, old guard bringing up the rear. Opponents wear themselves out dealing with the first 2 waves, if they survive that long. When the veterans step up, there's not much fight left. Caesar can adapt, though, and when required, he can run any mix of legionaries as skirmishers and still retain order in the ranks. Joshua Graham, Caesar's old legate, he wasn't so flexible. When the Legion attacked Hoover Dam, General Oliver ordered his troopers back to the middle ground just after first contact. Graham pushed all of the legionaries onto the dam, filling the east side with recruits up front and veterans in the back. By the book. But once they were in, they were stuck there. Oliver's troopers were entrenched and wouldn't give a foot. That's when we ordered the Rangers and the 1st Recon sharpshooters to start picking off veteran Legion officers from a high ridge west of the dam. That only lasted about a minute before Graham ordered the back ranks to push through to the front and rush the ridge. Caused total chaos among the younger legionaries. Oliver's troopers fell back to the side walkways and stayed out of the veterans' way. By the time the veterans got to the ridge, we were already in Boulder City. They followed us down there, but we were out before they realized what was happening. We had packed the old city with C4 and dynamite. Crude, but it did the job. Those who didn't die in the blast were in no position to mount a defense. The ones left on the dam didn't know what to do. The troopers routed them. Graham pulled the remaining legionaries back, but the battle was over. He went south, back to the Grand Canyon, back to Caesar. And that was the last we saw or heard from Joshua Graham.
Talk about something else.
Shoot.
Alright. I know you're the one who's been manipulating intelligence data.
Hold on. If we're gonna have this conversation, let's go somewhere more private. Don't worry, not much bite left in this old dog.
Alright. So first of all, if you're interested in that Ranger Sequoia, now would be the time to reverse pickpocket, which means, you know, put another weapon on him and pickpocket off him. So I've already showed how to do that in a previous part, so I'm not going to show it here. I'm actually not even going to take the Sequoia in this episode. I'm actually not going to even take it because I've already shown how to reverse pickpocket it, and I don't need it. So if you want it, reverse pickpocket it right about here. I always have performance issues in Camp Golf, as you can actually probably tell. Wow, these are really bad. I wonder why they're so bad. It's a good looking place. Oh, I forgot. We're actually in Camp Golf. There's a few interesting things in here. If my frame rate will allow me to get to the room. I'm not dropping below 30 or anything. It's just the sharp frame drops that are irritating me. In this room, there's a picture. You may have seen this on a thumbnail before, but I haven't shown it in game yet. This is Robert House, standing in front of a robot, which looks like Liberty Prime to me. So head into Hammond's office.
Sorting and manipulating intelligence is what I do. It's what Rangers are supposed to do. This job isn't all gunfighting and gulping shots of whiskey, no matter what the boys and ladies out there say.
But you're inventing your own intelligence reports. I've seen the logs and talked to the Rangers.
You have you? Misdirection. When you're pinned down, outnumbered, and 2 days from any help, it's just about the best friend you can have. Misdirection's what saved me all these years. It's what saved us at Hoover Dam. But it's been 5 years now, and Caesar's right across that lake. He's closer now than he ever was before. I was a young man once. I know what it's like to want to fight for your home. But this isn't it.
Aren't you fighting for the people of New Vegas?
We're fighting on their behalf, but Mr. House and the families are stringing us up inch by inch. They'll drain us dry while we fight and die over this dam. We offered them sanctuary in NCR territory before, but they won't listen. Troopers and Rangers have been dying here for more than 5 years while the families sit pretty behind that damn wall.
How does spreading false intel help anything?
People back home don't listen. They don't care. Senators, Brahmin barons, folks who are just trying to make it from day to day. It's been so many years that people forget about it. Conscription brings in fresh troops that die here every month, like it's routine. And even if we hold this dam, what then? Are we going to send the NCR's men and women to die here for another 5 years? 10? Patrol the whole length of the Colorado for hundreds of miles? Holding this dam, it'll be the death of us.
But what does that accomplish?
Creating fear and instability among the troopers without causing harm. It's the only thing I could think of to shake things up. It took some people getting killed to realize I'd gone too far. I had to stop.
Charlie? Why did you do it?
It's never going to end. This fight with Caesar. People back home don't know what these young men and women are in for. The Legion is the worst enemy we've ever faced. But we can't stop Caesar here. not without getting a lot of good people killed. More than anyone cares to count up. But even if we do stop him, I don't see how we're ever going to be able to pull out.
So what do you think I should do about this?
First thing that comes to mind is to turn me in. But that might not be the best play, all things considered. Even if your heart's in the right place, I reckon it might do a lot more harm than good.
What will you do if I don't turn you in?
Oliver can't stand that Rangers got credit for victory at Hoover. Whatever I recommend, he does the opposite. I said I wanted us on the ridge. He put them right on the western part of the dam itself. We don't have enough firepower to hold that spot. If the troopers fall back, and they will, the Rangers will advance to cover Oliver's retreat. We lose the dam. Oliver and the center are ruined.
Guys are sick. Like, really sick. He could drop any day now. Kaiser's dead. Legion can't hold itself together for 5 years, much less 10.
It's a gamble either way. Even with Caesar gone, we still might not outlast the Legion. I suppose that's a risk I'll have to take. For our sake, I hope you're right. I guess that I should thank you for bringing me to my senses. So, thanks. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to walk out that door and pretend we never had this talk.
I think that's a smart move, Hanlon. I think that's a smart move. Right, so I'd like to take a quick mention of a few things and then carry on with what our plans are for the NCR in the very near future. So first of all, crap. Sorry. First of all, I don't believe what I just told Hanlon. I told that as he has been misdirecting most of the NCR for a couple of months now. I've misdirected Hanlon to try and stop him from misdirecting the NCR. But two wrongs do make a right. I don't believe the Legion will fall apart within 5 years or even 10 because of Caesar's death. Because as I've been told on multiple occasions, and I agree with, Caesar's death means virtually nothing. A new Caesar will be appointed. Legate Linnaeus will probably take over the Malpais legate's Graham. But the Legate Linnaeus will take over. There will be a new Caesar. The Legion will continue going, continue fighting. What Hanlon has just explained to me is the complete downfall of the NCR in this region. The NCR can't hold this area, not without losing hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of men. And even though Caesar wasn't the option, even though House wasn't the right option, if the NCR stays here, their population will dwindle. They will not get the right amount of land. They will not get any territory from this area. They will just lose men in a black hole of nothingness, lose money in a black hole of nothingness, and they will be stretched way too thin, and eventually they will just collapse. Nobody will defeat them. Maybe Caesar will defeat them, but Caesar's Legion will defeat them. But even if Caesar doesn't defeat them, they will defeat themselves and be forced eventually into either a retreat or their whole country will just suffer ruins because of this war. I like the NCR a lot, and I want to help them out because I think their country is a decent idea. But I don't feel like actually being in the Mojave is good for the NCR. So I'm cutting ties with them. And that's what we're going to do in the next episode. I'm going to report to Colonel Moore at Hoover Dam. I'm going to cut ties with the NCR. And from here we will go on our own. I will rule Vegas, and I will push the Legion and the NCR away from the dam. How I'm going to do that, I really don't know. But we'll figure something out. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys next time.